She grabbed the microphone out of the best man's hand, mid-toast, looked straight at me, the bride, and said, I just think the guests deserve to hear from someone who actually knows the real story. At my own wedding. Okay, so my wedding day. 6 months of planning, a venue deposit that made me physically nauseous, and a guest list my fiancé, now husband, thank God, and I had gone back and forth over 100 times. One of the names on that list was Donna. Donna is my husband Marcus's cousin. We are not close. We have never been close. She is the kind of person who corners you at family holidays to explain why your choices are wrong. We invited her because Marcus asked me to, and I said yes because I love him and also because I genuinely thought, naively, in hindsight, that a wedding is a big enough event that one difficult person just gets absorbed into the crowd. She does not get absorbed. Donna does not do crowds. Donna does entrances. It started 2 weeks before the wedding. She texted me, not Marcus, me, asking if there was still time to add a speech to the program. I said nicely that the speeches were already set. The maid of honor, the best man, Marcus's dad, that's it. We kept it short on purpose. She wrote back, I just feel like family should be represented and your side is really dominating the program. My maid of honor is my best friend since college. Marcus's dad is, his dad. I told her I understood, but the program was locked. She replied, it's fine, I'll keep it brief. Like I'd said yes, I did not say yes. Then at the rehearsal dinner, the night before, she pulled me aside and said, I've actually prepared some remarks. Maybe 5 minutes, maybe 8, I want to leave room for the moment to breathe. 8 minutes at someone else's wedding. From someone who is, at best, a distant relative my husband feels obligated to. I told her as clearly as I could, Donna, there isn't a slot for you. The program is printed, I'm sorry. She looked at me like I'd said something in a foreign language and went, I think once you hear what I've prepared, you'll understand why it needs to be included. I didn't hear what she'd prepared. I walked away. I thought that was the end of it. No, seriously, I actually thought that was the end of it. So we're at the reception. Marcus's best man is halfway through his toast, genuinely lovely. People are laughing, and then I see Donna stand up from her table. She's got this look on her face like she's been waiting for a starting gun. She walks up, and before anyone even registers what's happening, she reaches over and just takes the microphone out of his hand, mid-sentence. And she goes, I just think the guests deserve to hear from someone who actually knows the real story. The room went so quiet, like that specific silence where everyone is doing the same calculation at the same time. I stood up, I was calm, I want to be clear about that, I was calm, and I said, Donna, put the microphone down. She ignored me completely and started talking about how she's known Marcus since he was a child, how family is the foundation, how some of us weren't sure about this relationship at first. She actually said that, at my wedding, into a microphone, and how she just wants everyone to have the full picture. I said it again louder this time, Donna, put it down now. She turned to me and said, I'm almost done, you'll thank me later, this is actually a gift. And that's when I stopped being calm. I looked at her in front of every single person I love and I said, you weren't almost done, you never started, and the only story anyone needs tonight is that you were asked to sit down and you couldn't manage it. Then I looked at the DJ, pointed at the soundboard and just said, cut it. He cut the mic just like that, dead air. Donna stood there holding a dead microphone in front of 200 people, and she just kept talking, with no mic. You could barely hear her, which honestly was its own kind of perfect. The venue coordinator, this no-nonsense woman named Val, who I will be grateful to for the rest of my life, walked straight onto the floor, touched Donna on the elbow, and said loud enough for the whole room to hear, Ma'am, I'm going to need you to return to your seat or I'm going to have to ask you to leave the event. Not quietly, out loud, like an announcement. Donna looked around the room, really looked like she was expecting backup, and there was nothing. No one. Marcus's own mother was staring at the tablecloth. Donna handed the microphone back, walked to her table, picked up her purse, and left, before the cake, before dinner was even finished. The best man leaned back into his mic, paused for exactly one beat, and said, As I was saying. The whole room laughed. Real, relieved, cathartic laughter. Marcus squeezed my hand under the table. And look, I keep replaying what I said. The only story anyone needs tonight is that you were asked to sit down and you couldn't manage it. Said it out loud. At my wedding. Into a crowd. Some people came up to me afterward and said I handled it perfectly. One person, I won't say who, quietly told me it was a little brutal. Honestly though, what would you have done? Comment below.